Hello and welcome to this very special edition of the EC Echo. I'm joined by my dad for this edition, Mr. Weng Seng Tan, or Ron Tan as he's also called. And we thought we'd talk a bit more about him and his life and going from Malaysia now into the UK. Dad, you came to the UK in 1971? Yeah?
No, I came in 72.
72. So 51 years ago from Penang in Malaysia. So what was life like growing up in Malaysia in the 1950s and 60s?
The life in Malaysia, because I'm grown up in a very big family of 8 of us, and it seems to be quite cramped in the house, and we like about very close family units. All the brothers and sisters are at home most of the time after schools, and have dinner together in the evening. And my mom and dad, they're always at home. So in view of that, it's quite harmony, put it this way. Yeah.
So why did you choose to come to the UK, and what about it appealed to you?
Well, cut the story short, when I was in the beginning of the secondary school in Malaysia, I read about the history about Europe and England and so on. So I always fascinated that I was dreaming that hopefully one day I can actually visit England, and but not really at that time sort of to settle down here, because I was just thinking all my parents are in Malaysia, brother and sister, uncle, auntie, so that never come to my sight. But as I grow older, I went into A-level, and unfortunately my dad passed away, that young's granddad, and I cut short my A-level, and I thought better help out with the family finance, being the eldest in the family. So I actually decided that I drop out from A-level, and then I went to work to earn some money to help out with the family. So, and again, there's nothing at all that leading me to that one day I'll be settling down in England. Not until after a year working in Penang, I met a friend of mine, and not really a friend, a colleague, put it this way, and we become very good friends. And he was telling me that he's coming to England to do nursing. And I thought, what? Male nursing? In Malaysia, we never heard about it. So I say, are you sure? And he said, yeah, they in England, they are sort of crying out for people to train as a nurse to work in the hospital, because they're just not having enough nurses. So I said, okay, I will make a decision later. So after about a few weeks, I told my mum and that I think I want to come to England to do nursing as well. My mum was a little bit shocked, and saw my uncle, auntie saying, are you sure you're leaving Malaysia to go? Yeah, I said, no, I'm just going to England to do this nursing, then I'll be coming back to Malaysia. So that was it at that time. And but of course, once I qualified, situation probably changed, and quite settled down in England, get used to the lifestyle in England. The weather, yeah, quite like the weather. There are 4 seasons, not like Malaysia where it's always hot every day or raining. So as I say, as that time I was about 24 years old, basically, when I qualify. And so I just sort of settling down and get on with my nursing work.
Yeah. Did you encounter any prejudice when you first arrived? And if so, how did you tackle or overcome it?
I never heard of the word prejudice at all. Basically, in Malaysia, we never heard about that. But I heard about inequality in Malaysia. In fact, that was one of the reasons that my friend decided to leave Malaysia, and me too, when I realized that I just couldn't get a job I wanted. And it seems like I'm heading into a brick wall. I felt my qualification in GCSE was good, but I just can't get any headway. So I know that there are inequality in Malaysia. Being a Chinese in the Malaysian government, which mainly ruled by the Malay group of people. So yeah, I come across that in Malaysia, but in UK, because when we are doing nursing, there are people from all over the world who actually previously were under the British Commonwealth, and we all speak English. So therefore, we are a big group of what I call it Commonwealth people that converging into England to do nursing. And we're people from West Indies, there are people from of course Malaysia, Singapore, and some from Mauritius and some African countries. So we feel comfortable in a way that probably we all are from overseas. So therefore we are not actually initially encounter any prejudice or racial discriminations. But probably when I later life, I did encounter a very severe discriminations, prejudice, you want to call it, sort of I do not belong to that group of people, but I felt and I learned, as I've been here a long time in England, that if you don't stand up against any authority that's trying to, what I call, bully you or suppress you, you miss that opportunity to fight back or to voice your concern to them, and it will be just swept under the carpet, and the next group of people will face exactly the same issue like you. So I decided to stand up and be counted and challenge them. On this particular case, I suffer a lot of I would probably call, in today's word, then probably not many people speak about mental health, but today probably I will call mental health issue that I've been put through, and into such a, you know, what I call it, very uncomfortable environment. And I felt like that time the best thing is to leave the company, because it's no point fighting, because everybody, my direct manager and everybody above me are sort of I would say the British people, or if I can use a word, the I'll put it this way, the standard stereotype of management people. As I say, very few non-white people make into management, especially in this particular company. So I thought, why you want to challenge them? But deep inside me, I felt, as I said earlier on, that if I just let this opportunity, the chances is there to challenge them, to raise my concern, and to know that I'm on the right side, I'm right. These people are really wrong. So I don't let this opportunity sort of wash away, and then later on in life you regret that I should have fight that case, blah blah blah. But at that time I said no, I want to be stand up to be counted. So I stay on, and I wouldn't say I won. I say my direct manager left the company, put it this way. Whether it because I stood up or what, I don't know. But I have seen it in this particular company that a lot of non-white good nurses were being bullied, and they left the company. They've been bullied for some very minor things that you never thought about it, that can cause you into deciding to leave the company that you love. But they felt they were right. I know they were right, but it's just the system is probably need changing. That they didn't fight on like me. So therefore, I challenged them, and eventually I stay on, and the person who is sort of I'll call trying to replace me with somebody else, I would say she lost the case, or she lost the heart to fight against me. So she left the company. So I stay on. So I felt I set a good example. I actually think that actually opened the eyes of some management that you know, if you are in society, if you think you're right, you know, you stand up to be counted, basically. Yeah.
So do you think life is really better here than back in Malaysia?
I would say half and half. For family life, I think Malaysia, look at most of my classmates, they're always very close to their, you know, their immediate family. Their brother and sisters, their uncle, parents, and friends. They are more easy, accessible, and they are more sort of a gatherings, like any kind of celebrations, or it could be just birthday or wedding, or just generally school reunion, because they are very close. But for me over in UK, of course, as I say, it's quite different. I came to UK on my own, so none of my school friends actually came with me. So therefore, I have to make new ground, make up new friends, and of course, once I got married, then we have two boys. So you know, that is our immediate family. Got 2 granddaughters, so therefore that is my main family now. My brother and sister in Malaysia, yes, it's still my brother and sister, but the closest now is my immediate family in UK. So therefore, I with my wife, my late wife, so we basically quite happy uh, in England, and our 2 children have good educations, and they now they have a good job. So in a way, we felt probably the right decisions. The right decisions. I can't imagine what I'll be doing if I stay on in Malaysia. I'm not too sure. So it's difficult to say whether I'll be better off in Malaysia, which I didn't get a chance to, get my life to exercise it. But looking at my friends and so on, I think generally I can say I'm probably better off in this environment than most of them. As I say, probably apart from the closeness of their family units. That is the only thing. But I, with my late wife, we tend to visit Malaysia and bring the children there quite often. It's like alternate years. So therefore, we spend a month in Malaysia, sort of get together. So yeah, we're not actually missing anything. In fact, it was quite, I would say, quite a happy reunion, because sometimes we felt our brother and sister, sometimes they also don't see one another for months and months and months. When I went back, they were telling me the last time I saw her was 3 months ago. I said, well, you're so near, you still don't see them. And when I go back, or my wife, we all go back, everybody come and see us, and it feel like it was good for my brother and sister and family in Malaysia as well, that they get a chance to meet up with their brother and sister, which they haven't seen for maybe 3 months, 6 months. They are not far. They are not far from one another, but they're all, as I say, like me, I got my family here. They got their own family. So, unless there's special occasion, wedding or what, they might meet up. But otherwise, it's just one of those things that sometimes they just don't see one another. They probably just make a phone call or whatever. But when we went back, it was lovely. We have meals together, all family come together, and yeah, it's sort of quite fun when you don't see one another for some time. Suddenly you get together. There's so much to talk, so much to catch up. So it was a happy occasion, put it this way. And so therefore, as I say, as time evolved, we get used to the life here, and we travel and to Malaysia, visit family. So generally, we feel quite fortunate, and that we are able to make regular visits that without sort of say, oh, I have to cut back this, or I can't go there this year because I haven't got the money. But luckily we never had that kind of issue. So because we work very hard, we know that by working hard, through education, through personal development, it can actually get you to a higher status. So therefore we basically felt your life journey is in your own hand. Your destination is in your own hand. You have to make it work, not rely on other people to get it work for you. So I can actually say loudly that I've been here, as my son said, I've been here 51 years. I never Never, never. I'm quite proud to say. Never been unemployed. Never touched a single penny of the state money. Not until I retired. But before that, I never touched a single state money. I always working. Before I finish one job, I already got another job lining up for me. So I always continue working. I'm contributing to the government basically, rather than taking anything from the government. But as I say, you know, through our own hard work, our own belief, and basically our Chinese culture, that you really need to be a contributor rather than a taker. So with that embedded in our mind, we always, you know, do things in the right way, and not abusing it, and never get into trouble with the law. That's another good thing.